right, thank you so much for tuning in for another edition of Financial Fitness. And today it is quite an honor and pleasure for me to introduce one of my colleagues. She's a realtor out in Vegas, and she's doing some of the best, amazing things I know, especially being able to support her teams. And I've been able to watch her grow into the amazing leader that she is today. Not only she's running a business full time, but she also have a family she's taking care of. And without any further ado, I do want to go ahead and introduce you to Bianca Diaz, and she will be go ahead and walking us through the home buying process. And she's not only been able to do that as a professional, but the caring and the charismatic that she has when she does walk her clients through the process is unmatchable. And today I really wanted to bring somebody I trust, somebody that I know that will add value to you guys, especially with this process, because I know that buying a home is going to be one of the most important things that you do. So if it is going to be one of the biggest transactions in your life, I didn't want to bring just anybody to walk you through that process. So, and if you're thinking about buying a home right now, or just maybe wanting to know what the process is like, just for yourself, or maybe to teach your kids or friends, so there would not be anyone better to go ahead and bring this education to you. So let me not take too much of her time. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bianca. And how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am amazing. I'm amazing. Thank you so much. And how are things in Vegas?
Man, let me tell you, the market here is crazy. Like, super crazy. It's just a buying frenzy going on, but it definitely still is a seller's market.
You just
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, so when I was thinking about bringing out the home buying process, you were the first person that came in mind. Not only I respect what you do as a realtor, but seeing how you care for your team, having a chance to work with you directly, and the businesses, and seeing how you're taking care of your clients every day, which leads you to what you're doing in the credit industry as well. So I'm super excited for what you prepare for us and see what you're going to share with us here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, before I do, I got to give it back to you, Steve, man. You're awesome. I love working with you. You know, your dedication to not only your team, but to your clients and to anyone who seeks advice from you is just second to none. So thank you so much for having me on, and it's a pleasure working with you. But a little bit about me, you already mentioned it. I'm a real estate agent here in Vegas. I've been doing real estate now for about 4 years here in Vegas. And 2 out of the 4 years, I've been doing credit repair alongside with real estate, because obviously when you go to buy a house, you need cash, credit, or a rich spouse, right? And out of the 3, I can help with 1. So, you know, I just love being able to help people buy a home. That's what I love to do, because that is, in fact, the American dream. You know, my family came from Cuba. They moved over here, and they're like, oh, you know, the American dream is to buy a home. So I just love helping people accomplish that. Alongside that, though, I'm a single mom to 2 kids, which means I am now going to be a school teacher, okay? On top of being a real estate agent and running a nationwide credit repair team, now I'm going to be a school teacher.
Yeah, I hear you. Thanks to COVID, though.
Thanks to COVID.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I mean, for taking the time out of your business and to take this time just to educate us in the home buying process, and knowing that, you know, if there's ever a time to do it, now is the time with the lowest interest rate. So definitely excited to see what you're going to share with us. You can go ahead and take control. I'll be able to allow you to share the screen and take control of. Go ahead.
Perfect. Well, you mentioned it. Now definitely is the time to go ahead and buy due to those really low interest rates. So yes, it is definitely a good time. They're historically low, in fact. I'm trying to share my screen here. Let's see. StreamYard wants, okay, I'm giving you access. You can't see my screen yet, can you? Oh, there we go. There we go. Chrome wants permission. Okay, Chrome wants permission to share my screen. So hold on a second as I figure this out. Okay, share.
John talks about. You doing it in a moment.
Share. I'm getting some kind of an issue here. So let's see. I have to go to my preferences. We're doing all the technology things right now. Just give me 1 second so I can get this up and running. Privacy.
Follow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Click screen recording. I'm walking you through literally everything I'm doing right now. And Google Chrome. Perfect. I think we got it figured out.
All right.
Awesome.
You can choose. Okay, perfect. So now let's come back to StreamYard. Share, and share. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. That was simple enough. Technology, right?
Yep.
This is the exciting part about technology. So I titled this "Keeping It Real in Real Estate" because Steve, look, I like to keep it real, okay? I'm all about keeping it real, and that's exactly what we're talking about today is real estate, okay? And the real estate market, it really is this process that I'm going to be talking about. Although I'm a Las Vegas real estate agent, real estate's pretty much the same everywhere, with the exception of certain markets. Everybody's got different things going on, but I think pretty much across the nation, we're in a seller's market. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, you know, there's buyer's market, there's a seller's market. Anything less than 6 months of inventory is considered to be a seller's market. Okay, anything more than 6 months of inventory is considered to be a buyer's market. So that's what we're going to go over today. But I like to talk to people about rent versus buy, right? Because a lot of people, maybe it makes sense to rent, you know, versus buying. Maybe, and that's okay. You know, some questions that you might want to ask yourself to see if buying is a good fit for you. You know, or renting, right? Are you planning on living in the area for less than 2 years? Maybe you are, and maybe you don't want to buy, or maybe the prices are so good that even if you are living there for less than 2 years, then you have an investment property. That's up to you to decide, right? But another reason why you may be renting is because maybe your credit score is not where it needs to be, right? So in order to qualify for a home loan these days, and of course this varies with whatever lender you go to, whatever programs you're using, but typically they're looking for like a 680 or above credit score. You know, it went from a 580 like pre-pandemic to now like a 680. And if you're going to Chase, man, it's like 700 or above.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, credit score is a big deal, guys. So if your credit's not where it needs to be, man, you could talk to Steve. He's an exceptional resource, or myself also, right? We're happy to help you with that credit. Are you saving money for a down payment? You know, unless you're a veteran and you're using your VA loan that you qualify for, you really are going to have a down payment for your house.
Yeah.
And the down payment really does depend on what loan you're getting. Some common loans that people get is an FHA loan. Down payment's 3.5% typically, or a conventional loan. Down payment could be 5%. Depends. If it's your first property, if it's your second property, the down payment may be more, right? If it's an investment property. So some people may be saving money for their down payment. And then are you paying down debt? Because one of the other qualifications that lenders look at is your debt to income ratio. And that goes off your taxes, guys. So for a lot of people who are like 1099s and they're writing off a lot of things, well, now your earned income is not truly, like, let's say you have $100,000 that you earned, but you're writing off 50,000. Well, you really only have 50,000 of earned income, right? That's what they're going to go off of.
Yeah.
So those are some questions to see if maybe renting's good for you. But now buying, come on, guys. You know, do you want to build equity and an investment over time? Right now, as you mentioned, the interest rates are historically low, and we'll go into that. You kind of jumped my slides there, but we'll talk about where they're at. You know, are you looking to further your tax deductions? You know, owning a home, you can have tax deductions on owning a home, especially if you get like solar or something like that put on, right? And then, do you want the freedom to change your living space? When you rent somewhere, you really can't put up a white picket fence and you know, knock down some walls and things like that, unless your landlord's cool with it. When you gotta get permission first. And then, like, guys, like Steve said, the interest rates are just extremely low. Let's look into this. These are the current market interest rates, and this is a resource, Keeping Current Matters. Of course, every bank and every lender and every program is going to offer different rates, and the rates really do vary on many factors, but these are like the average rates, okay? So don't get too caught up on it, but these are like looking at for basically like a $3,000 home, what the monthly payment would be in accordance to the interest rate and where they're at, right? So right now we stopped at the 2010s, right? And that was at a 4.9% interest rate. Well, I could tell you right now, I personally closed about 2 deals like 2 Mondays ago. And one was at a 2.74% interest rate. And the other one was at a 3.124% interest rate. So, I mean, that's kind of crazy to think that some people have interest rates that are higher on their car loan than they will on their home loan, you know, when you put it in that perspective. So definitely a great time to buy a home in consideration with the interest rates. Prices may be raising up a little bit due to the supply and demand, but the interest rates kind of like level it out, right? And in the long term, it's just so much better having a lower interest rate.
Yeah.
Now, this is funny. I saw this meme and I literally died because people ask me, how's the market? You know, how's the market right now? And I'm like, do you remember when you were trying to buy toilet paper in March? It's like, there are people, I live here in Vegas and I've spoken, listen, I partner with real estate agents from all across the country. So it's pretty much the same everywhere. People are buying houses in like cash or doing 1031 exchanges. So they're not having to pay the taxes. And, you know, especially if they're selling a house in California, one house in California, they could buy 2 or 3 down here, 1031 exchange, waive those taxes. And then like, they're like, getting a good deal out of it, right? They're like waiving appraisals. Houses are now, you know, like it's kind of crazy what's happening. It might inflate the prices of homes because of the amount of people who are like waiving appraisals. Now it's like shifting the comps, right? The comparables that appraisers are going to be looking at, they're going to be homes that maybe weren't appraised. So it's a little crazy what's going on right now. But people are just really taking advantage of those low interest rates. That's what I'm finding.
That was us.
But home buying 101, let's get into it, guys. If you were even considering buying a home, I would first and foremost consult with a real estate professional. I'm going to say that again. Consult with a real estate professional. It is free to do that, guys. The real estate professional, like myself, is trained to ask you questions to see if you even qualify. See, we don't want you to get denied, right? Who likes getting denied?
Especially with the credit.
Especially with the credit or your debt to income or maybe the 2 years worth of work history, right? I mean, certain things that we know that you need in order to qualify for a home, unless you're buying in cash, then that's cool. I mean, you're going to have to go to a real estate professional anyway, right? I mean, I guess you don't have to, but it's best. The real estate professional, it's free for them to assist you in the home buying process, free to you. And they're just really there to make sure that everything happens and they're looking out for your best interest. And that's what you want, someone who's trained to look out for your best interest. Because guys, this is your biggest asset in most cases,
you can
right?
Sit in there.
So, you know, from the real estate professional, once they determine, you know, if you're good to go as far as your credit, the total debts owed, your work history, they're going to connect you with a lender if you're financing. And a lot of times they partner with lenders and they have a great relationship. Like I have amazing relationships with lenders, and I know the different programs that they offer to help the specific client. Maybe someone's looking for down payment assistance. I know what lender I'm going to send them to. Someone who specializes in down payment assistance, right? So I'm just like a liaison in the process. And then we go home shopping, guys. That's my favorite part. Like, who does not like home shopping, right? So we go home shopping, and it is the real estate professional job to write the best offer for you, okay? The best offer for you to get that home. And we have tips and tricks and ways to do that, guys. So definitely you want to consult, even if you're going to buy a new home. A lot of people go to new home developments unrepresented. And let me tell you, those new home real estate agents, they really are looking out for the best interest of the developer.
Because
you know,
they hired.
What was that?
Because they hired.
They were hired by the developer. Correct, right? And that's not to say that they're shady people, right? But when it comes down to it, they're going to be looking out for the best interest of the home developer. So guys, it doesn't cost you anything to bring your real estate agent over there with you on the first visit. Don't go without them, because then we can't represent you. And then they will be looking out throughout the transaction just to make sure everything goes smoothly and you get what you're promised, okay? It doesn't cost you anything, but it will cost you a whole lot not to have representation, okay? Let's go through the home buying process, okay? Sound fun?
Yep. Let's do it.
Home buying process can take anywhere from 30 to 45 days or less, right? I mean, I've seen 2-week closes. It just really depends. Is there an HOA? I mean, there's a lot of things involved. But let's assume we go home shopping. We find a home. We put in an offer. It gets accepted, right? Any offer not writing. Getting accepted, right? Speaking that into